Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Life on Broad podcast.
Episode 3, I think.
I wasn't going to say episode number because it feels like we're doing so many of these days, just bringing all the news. Channel 6 Action News did reach out, and I declined for comment. So, listen, we got started out as we always do. This isn't an Eagles-focused podcast, but this is the Eagles, and it is the most important thing in the world
right now.
BG, coming on him, he's back. Brian Graham, that's great. Friend of the program, great guy. He's been around forever. I'm excited. I just think he's going to bring some energy.
He's a vibes guy. I mean, he's a great player too, but I feel like he's going to hopefully bring a little bit of energy to this team. I feel like they could use a little energy.
BG had me thinking though. I was like, because listen, I forgot there should be a rule. If you retire, you retire. Like there's no comebacks, right?
Oh,
but the fact is, I know, but I don't like that. Like Tom Brady, like those people come back. BG, we give you a pass. You're free. But after this, you're out of time. But it made me think, Philadelphia legends. What legends would you want to come out of retirement? I declare one.
Like realistically giving their age, or
no, just bringing a legend.
Who would I bring back? I mean, I'd love to bring AI back.
AI was on my list. Hip hop. Do you remember hip hop? The Sixers.
Yes,
dude. And now we're bringing the black jerseys back. So
that's true,
dude. That was the Jactus yoked up tattooed bunny, I guess.
Yeah,
hip hop.
He was a G.
Electric.
That was a good one.
Chase Utley.
Oh,
we could have used him.
The class.
Yeah, we could have used him.
Ryan Howard too is like classic.
And another thing, just to bring the world back to normalcy, Rocky Balboa. I don't even know.
Rocky is we're the only city where our idol is actually a completely fake made up.
I was going to say, is Rocky even retired? So maybe he doesn't even make the list. But anyway, once again, just had us thinking. We want to start out. Shout out BG. We're excited for you. But so the next thing, and I'll lead this into you because you're our local AI and tech
dude.
Yeah, well, tell us about the new tech news coming out of Philly.
So Philly is talking about basically revamping a lot of their systems with AI.
Oh, wow.
So they're saying that they're going to use it for permits, for speeding up inspections, things along those lines. And they're going to regulate it so that it's, I guess, not, taking jobs from people, but basically empowering people in the local government to be able to do their job better. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, we'll love to know who's in charge of that one. But I mean, it said I'm in full support.
I'm in support of it. Listen, they can
adopt. We keep talking about AI tech. What do you need to do these days? You got to adopt it. You got to learn it. There's a new thing coming out every day. So listen, kudos to the city for stepping out of their comfort zone and actually trying to bring some positive.
I mean, one thing you can think about too is I'm sure that they have a lot of manpower behind just reviewing zoning permits, making sure they're in compliance with the zoning code and things like that. I feel like a lot of that can get sped up. Yeah. If they can do the initial review with AI and then just have someone who knows what they're doing kind of stamp up on it, I feel like they could speed things up because it's been an issue really since COVID in Philly and even before. But I know during that time frame, I went through a variance process. It took us over a year because the meetings were scheduled so far out. There was so much red tape to go through. And I know it's a little bit better, but I think it's still if you're going for a variance, you're probably waiting at least 6 months. So I feel like if they can speed those things up, Well,
one of the things that I was maybe think too about it was that ultimately the best offense is kind of the best defense. If they're seeing an increase in approvals or requests coming in just because people now can get them in a lot quicker, whatever they can do to surround themselves with the right tools to be able to process this stuff is just going to be a game changer and an impact for us. So
ultimately too, with, right now affordability and inventory is a big issue. So the faster that permits get approved and the faster they can allow people to put shovels in the ground, the more inventory you're going to have coming and hitting the streets quicker. So I feel like overall it's in the city's benefit to do that. To make sure it's a smoother process. It makes it hopefully more developer friendly where people can come in here and actually invest.
That's a great segue king over here. So let's lean in a little bit into some of the bigger projects. I saw that a New York-based developer, Dwight City Group, actually, they're doing 300 units over at Hahnemann.
Yep.
So that'll be a big jump and big boost.
That's great to see. I mean, I know that was when they shut that down, it was a very dramatic impact on that area.
local jobs, and,
Yeah.
a lot of things like that. So, at the end of the day, when you see buildings get repurposed in a good way, I think that's
It's
ultimately
always a good
it
thing.
always is the
Yeah,
best case. Like obviously there's going to be a lot to go on there, but being able to use that site and
for
build
sure.
and bring 300 plus units to the area and the neighborhood, bring new tax paying citizens there, things
100%.
like that. I mean, it's a great move. So I think I'm happy to see that. That was a good.
I'm actually surprised to see it because with a lot of these buildings that are old office buildings or, they had a different use, a lot of times the way they're built and the way they're laid out doesn't translate well to residential. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised that they were able to figure that out because I think it's kind of rare for them to be able to actually do that.
Yeah.
But if you can do it, like, I guess we're going to talk a little bit about this later as far as like offices in Philly and what's going on with that. But
Let's segue in because that was something like I was
Yeah.
reading about before. Quarter 3 showing a really nice rebound in office vacancies actually decreasing, especially in Class A product, which is obviously your more, your nicer buildings, bigger amenities, things along those lines. But I think the vacancy rate went from like 25% last year to year over year down to about 11%. And
that's huge. That's huge.
It's huge. And I think that's one of the things me and you always talk about it, but you got to bring that commercial business and that corridor back into Center City.
For sure.
That it just brings and makes everything around the whole city so much better.
Well,
I mean, it really does.
I'll tell you what, I feel like, I haven't gone out a ton in the last few years in Center City, but I was out a couple weekends ago and it was
Must have
pumping.
skipped my invite.
It was pumping, dude.
Yeah.
There was
more pumping if you would have called me.
there were people out and about. It was like, it felt to me like, pre-COVID years where really like there's a lot of people in Center City. I feel like jobs coming back into the office. People are still working remote, but they're trying to bring some people back into the office.
It's happening everywhere.
We're seeing it here too. It's like, people get very used to working from home, but there's a lot you gain from being in an office setting with people you're working with. And I feel like, that's probably driving now years after COVID. People are coming back. And also some of the office spaces are getting converted into other uses. So that probably helps too, because you don't have as massive of an amount of inventory that's out there just sitting there.
Yeah, I think the other nice thing too is like you saw, I was watching the news yesterday, JP Morgan announced they launched their big building on Park Street.
Yep.
I think it cost them over $5 billion. Imagine building a building for $5 billion and then having to force people to go.
Right.
I mean, like the thing is that's, JP Morgan, obviously biggest financial institution in the world. Like, they got the perks, they figure those things out. But I think what's a great sign across the board is just seeing that, right? You're seeing that, people coming back into the workplace, get more comfortable with it. And ultimately too, it just makes the whole entire, the whole entire city, but the marketplace just moves so much better. People, volume, activity, business, it's all good.
Especially down in like, you saw when these offices were empty, how much the restaurants and the shops and all that stuff on like Chestnut Street and Walnut Street, they suffered because like they get activity during the day. People go on their lunch break, right? Like, they go and get a happy hour after they leave the office. So like when people aren't even there, there's no opportunity for those businesses to thrive.
This guy's the segue king because
bang,
that's the perfect thing to roll over. But 2 new restaurants we got to kind of cover too.
That's right.
The first one we got is Forest in Maine, which is a brewery actually in Ambler. So team slept hands for breweries. Another one coming in here. That's opening in 15.
What's your favorite brewery in Philadelphia?
See, I'm a Tired Hands guy, and
I love Tired Hands.
That's outside the city.
I love Tired
Hands.
Hands.
This is a Philadelphia-based pod, so we'll bring it back. Human Robot. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Human Robot. I did a lot of sales and development over in like that old Kensington area when they were open there, and that was always like a little spot.
That's a good spot.
A 6-pack for me.
Yeah.
I've been with them from the beginning, so shout out.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's a good.
What about you? Who do you like?
I like Yards.
Yeah.
It's like the keep it simple.
Miller Lite guy over here.
I like Yards. I'm a very simple man.
No, listen, Yard brings out great beers.
They do.
I remember like the first brewery I ever went to was Yards, and I was like, damn, this is a big ass business.
Yeah.
Like, I remember walking in there and being like, wow.
It's huge in there.
Yeah, you never really thought about drinking beer the whole time kind of growing up.
I would have said
once you realize how it gets there, it's probably like, whoa.
I forget who's there now, but I used to love Goose Island.
Yeah.
I had a client event party there. It's a great space. You
Great
can like be outside. What did they transition to?
I don't know who's in there, right?
It's like
there's something there, but that's a great
Yeah,
spot. We always have like a couple of team events down there to hang outside, sit in the lounge chairs. It's great. But listen, this is for all my carb loaders. Another one, the bread room, 8th and Chestnut. How amazing is that, right?
Pastries, 20 different pastries daily, different types of,
They better be serving bread, other types.
They got a ton of specialty breads, event spaces, baking classes in the evening.
Oh, chef's kiss for that. That's perfect. Listen, once again, it's going back to it, but I think the thing, and great way to kind of close this out here is that, we're seeing the right things here in the city. We were having a conversation earlier, but the city's taken really good direction, really good steps. It's great to see, obviously everything that's going on around it, but people are consistently investing here, man. People are coming back into the offices. The market's strong. We're seeing rates come down, giving buyers more confidence. So across the board, it's been great, man.
Yeah.
I love the momentum we're on. I think we're on the right pace and the right track for 2026.
I agree. I'm looking forward to see it continue to develop. I mean, I feel like, especially going into next year, a lot of stuff we've talked about happening in the city with the bicentennial and the World Cup. And there's going to be a buzz in the city. Yeah, there's going to be a buzz in the city next year. I feel like we're hitting the right stride right at the right time.
We're hitting the right strides at the right time. So once again, if you guys enjoyed this, we're dropping podcasts once a week here, just giving you guys some Philly-based knowledge and kind of giving you our view and our perspective from boots on the ground, right on the streets here. My name's Jim Roche.
I'm Marco DiGabriel. Hit the like and subscribe button if you found this valuable, and we'll see you next time.
See you soon.